Hi, I'm Rocky or Rococo Rondo, and this will be my no boost speedrun tutorial for the school ALAP level in We Love Katamari Reroll. If you don't know me, I'm the current world record holder in that category for the no boost speedrun category in We Love Katamari Reroll, and I've been wanting to make tutorials for a while, so this is going to be one of my first kind of forays into that. Because, hey, if there's anyone interested in running this game, new to it, I don't know, I just felt like making tutorials, plus it's helping me out a little bit too. So this is the school ALAP level. It's like the fifth one, like fifth, sixth, depending on how you do the route level in the game. And this level has more spawns than any other level in the game. You can start at multiple points in this starting classroom. It has 7 spawns. That's kind of ridiculous, honestly, that it has 7 spawns. But um, first thing I'm going to do in this tutorial is I'm going to show you what you need to do on each of these spawns. So if you get any spawn, you can start a run. You can start the level from that spawn without hopefully having to restart that much, because restarting in the Roll Up the Sun speedrun kind of sucks. So I'm actually going to order these from best to worst, or fastest to slowest. So I'm not actually going to start at this spawn you see right now, because this spawn is not the best one. It's not bad, but it's not the best. It's kind of in the middle. But when I cut the video, you are going to see me start at the best spawn. All right, this is by far, in my opinion, the best spawn in this level. It's the one where you start on the desk with all the calligraphy on it. The spawn is just really quick, it's really fast. You size up so much, and I will show you how to get started. So before I actually show you, a lot of these runs are going to end up in the same place. A lot of these spawns kind of go in similar places, and they all end at the same exact place. However, um, every spawn is just so slightly different that I thought it would be worth it to show you. So first thing we do on this spawn, you just go back, forward, roll up all these guys, and this stuff, and then you drop down. So you're going to want to drop down right into this box, crate, I don't know what you want to call it, the blue thing that has breads and a squirrel in it. You want to drop down into that as much as possible. You might miss it and be off to the side a little bit. That's okay. But you're definitely gonna want to drop into that. Get the stuff in here. Go over to the right. Get these breads. Getting these breads will release the rabbit, which is not usually a problem. You don't usually run into it, but you just get those breads. Get these abacuses, abaci, whatever the plural is. Those give you a lot of size. Books, and then these buckets. Just like that. And look at that. Every single spawn is going to end at these buckets. You're always going to be here eventually, because there's a ton of them. You get a ton of size off them. These are an essential item to get. So you'll notice that every spawn will end here, and that's where this spawn is going to end. So I'm going to cut again, and we'll see you at a different spawn. Okay, so this spawn, I think, is maybe the second best. So you're on this little lunch table, I guess. All the kids are eating lunch. What you're going to do is you're going to quick turn immediately, get a bread on the way, and then look. The calligraphy table is right behind you. So these first few spawns, the ones that I think are the best, are going to look pretty similar. You just drop down into there, get these guys again, get these, and then just keep going. Boom, 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 boom. These buckets, by the way, are 35.3 or 35.4 centimeters. I don't remember exactly which it is, but you want to make sure you're big enough for the buckets, because if you're not big enough for these buckets, that kind of sucks sometimes. So that was the lunch table spawn. Yeah, I think that's the second best, second quickest. So the next spawn will also be pretty similar to this, and I'll show you when I get there. Okay, I got it right away. This spawn, you spawn on this desk. Right there to the left is the calligraphy thing. So you go over here. And now you're just, here again. This one might be just as quick, as, if not, a little bit quicker than the lunch table spawn. They're pretty even. I don't know if I'd rank one higher than the other, but they're basically the same. So if you get either of these spawns, you're in a good position. But yeah, as you can see, very similar, all three of these. And that's why I think that those three are the best, is because they're so similar. But as you see, the next two that we're going to get are actually going to be a little bit different. So I will show you. Okay, so if you start up here on these cubbies, you're actually going to roll forward, get these books, drop down onto these chutes. I dropped a little bit forward, but you're going to drop down directly on top of them if you can, and not in front of them. And then here's where it differs a lot. We're going to go up here, and you might think we're going to the calligraphy desk, but no, we are just going to stay right on here, get all this stuff, and then go forward. If you land on those breads like I did, that's pretty good. Getting the squirrel is also good. And then you end up at the buckets again. So as you can see, slightly different, but still ended up in the same place. This is also a really good spawn in my opinion, very quick. Okay, this is actually where I started in the beginning, and you're finally going to get to see it. So these are these buckets. You're kind of in the corner of the classroom. These are the buckets that you're about to roll up later, so you'll end up where you started. And you're going to go around here, and it's the shoes again. These shoes are going to show up in, I think only these two spawns, really. But they're pretty important. And you'll go, again, up here, get some stuff. You don't have to get every single thing on the desk. You'll be big enough. There you go. And then it's... So yeah, that spawn's not too bad either. Like, none of these spawns, I mean, well, I wouldn't say none. But none of the spawns I've showed you so far are really awful. But you'll see one later that is definitely not preferred. And this is not that spawn. So if you spawn on the floor here, I actually got lucky with the honey. Honey is a random item that can spawn. But you're gonna want to just go straight up to this desk, honestly. Straight up here. And then over to, over to the calligraphy. So as you can see, it's a little bit slower just because you have to roll all that way just to get there. There might be a better way to handle this spawn, but this is honestly what I would do if I got it. I ran into the rabbit. But yeah, see, even though that spawn is a little slow, it's still not, like, awful. Like, that's the second to worst spawn. The one I'm about to show you is, in my opinion, the worst one. But every spawn, I think, is still workable. Well, that's debatable once I show you this next one. But this spawn is definitely workable. Okay, check this out. So this is, in my opinion, the worst spawn to get because you're just so small. There's just nothing to roll up, really. So what you do is you roll forward, get these rices, right? Small bowl, average bowl. And you might think, oh, I want to get the tongs. No, you're not big enough for the tongs. So you have to go around, get the shoe. You get the shoe, and then you're big enough for the tongs. So you're just going to kind of follow this route again. Get the squirrel, get these tongs. You're going to have to get a few extra tongs on the side. Get the breads. Get all the abacus, whatever you call them. And then just follow the rest. It's not really that bad. I'm exaggerating when I say it's awful, but it's just you got to get so much extra stuff. And the whole back and forth thing you have to do is a little bit slow. But this is definitely the worst one, in my opinion. You can still work with it. If you get this in a run, I might reset if I got this one, but it's definitely workable. It's not awful. So if you just know what to do, you can definitely still be successful if you get this spawn. And that was all the spawns. That was the last one. That was, in my opinion, the worst one. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to show you the rest of the route. Real quick, now that we've gotten all the spawns down, I'm going to show you the rest of the route and just kind of go through the highlights of what the things you need to do are, what you need to pay attention to, and some of the places that are definitely like choke points. So I start here, start at this spawn. This is an alright spawn to get. It's a little bit slow, but that's okay. Just go over here. This is going to be the exact same because I've already showed you this. Alright. And we made it back. Okay. So, check this out. See these cubbies? You got the cubbies over here, you got like little PE uniforms, you got some hats. Those hats are the best spawn? I'm actually going to tell you about this spawn RNG right now. So there's some spawn RNG I'm going to go over later in the video, but since I got this now, um, these hats are the best ones because they're the best shape. It's like the half red, half white with the little fin on top or whatever you call it. I don't even know what kind of weird ass hat this is, but but these are the best shape because they allow you to get everything in the cubby. The other two hats with the bill on them, they kind of push you out of the cubby. I'll demonstrate that later. But they're just not as good because they push you out of the cubby, so you can't get as much stuff. But if you get these ones, you get everything. You get everything in there. And you might be 50 centimeters, you might not be. That's okay. I'll tell you what to do if you're 50 centimeters right now. But just when you're 50 centimeters, I'll just show you in a sec. When you're 50 centimeters, the doors to the hallway open. And I'm going to show you what to do if you reach 50 centimeters at this point. Just pretend I'm not, because 99%, well, not 99, but a good portion of the time, you're not going to be 50 centimeters standing at the point where I am now. So in those cases, you want to go over here, get all this stuff. So you want to get the big books that were against the wall here, and then some of this stuff. You don't have to get all of it. Sometimes it's going to be a microscope, sometimes it's going to be the test tube set. It doesn't matter. But you don't have to get all of it, just to be big enough for this choke point here. So you're going to get some of these bowling pins, and these plungers, these toilet plungers, are a big size choke point. They are, man, I really should have looked this up beforehand, but they're like 56, 57 point something centimeters. They're 57 point something. And a lot of the time, I'm too small for them. Like, I'm going to be honest, I'm too small for them a lot of the time because I'm trying to go too fast. I'm trying to skip things. So this is a big choke point. You really want to make sure that you hit this size benchmark, that you are big enough to get these plungers. But anyway, you just get all these plungers. Then you get all this toilet paper. I'm going to show you how to get this, all of it, because it's kind of hard. So you're going to go like that, and turn around and go like that. I don't really know how to explain it besides just showing it to you, so if you need to replay that, then yeah, you can replay it. You kind of go in halfway, like on the third stack of toilet papers, bonk the wall, turn around, and then go forward. When you go forward, make sure that you're going more to the right, because we're going to go this way, because if you're going to the left like this, well, then you're going to have to turn around and go back. So if you're big enough for the plungers, and you get enough toilet papers, you should be big enough for this bucket, which is like 70 or 71 centimeters. If you don't get all the toilet papers or enough of them, you might not be big enough for this bucket, and that's not a good thing. I will mention these gaitas right here, these wooden sandals. These are one of the, I think, the best thing to get in this situation, because a bunch of different shoes can spawn. You saw when I went into the other side of the bathroom, there are like these other sandals. Where are they at? Yeah, these sandals. So I think it's 3 different things that can spawn randomly in the bathroom, and these gaitas just give you the most size, so these are the best ones to get. It doesn't really matter too much usually, but sometimes it's a nice little boost. Okay, so you're going to go out of the bathroom into the hallway. You might notice, oh my god, there's a million people running around. There's bunnies. There's all sorts of stuff going on out here. There's a person with a wheelbarrow. This part, kind of luck dependent, because the rabbits, you want to get the rabbits if they're in your path. If they're not in your path, don't try to like chase them down, because they're kind of fast and they will run away from you. But the rabbits give you a ton of size, so if they're in your path, get them. And if they're not, that's okay. But also, you got to watch out for, like I said, all the people walking around, because you will get knocked. You will get knocked around. So, you want to get these backpacks, backpack, bucket, backpack. I'm a little bit bigger than I usually am, so I'm here. But you can get this, yeah, you can see I'm getting hit by people and the chicken. You can either get a rabbit, or you can get this, oh my gosh, this vase over here. Gives you a lot of size. But you have to get to 80 centimeters in order for this door to open. The door opens at 80 centimeters when you size up. So when you size up and when this door opens, you're going to go straight in here, make a hard turn left, up these chairs and onto these desks. So you're just going to go straight forward, and you're going to stop at the end with that big stack. So you're just going to kind of let the you're gonna get like the first half of that stack, kind of back off, and then go back into the stack to get the rest of it. If you miss the stack, by the way, it will bounce, and it will bounce so far away. Like, it's honestly might be safer to just stand underneath it and let the papers fall onto you rather than try and like get all the papers at once. So if you let the papers hit the desk, it will bounce so far, and that's really bad because you need this size. This size is it's a deal breaker if you don't get this size. So just be careful with that. And you go down here, get these kerosene tanks, trash can, go back into the doors, turn left into the classroom. Okay, I'm about to get hit by this girl. Okay, so going into this classroom, this is where you'll end. And this part of the level can be really, really annoying. It can be really luck dependent, it feels like sometimes. But there are a few things that you can do to make it a little bit easier on yourself. So when you enter this classroom, the stew pot that's right in front of the Katamari, stew pot on the desk, that's the first thing you're going to want to get. And then you're going to make a hard left, and you see that kid wearing the blue shirt who's leaning back in his chair. That kid is different because if when you try to roll him up, you'll just roll him up immediately, straight up. You won't knock him over and send him flying like all the other people in the room. You will get him immediately. So getting that guy right away is good for size. So here's what that will kind of look like. If this girl, oh my gosh, this girl is trying to knock me all over this place. Okay, so here's what this will look like. So you're in here, go in here, get the stew pot, get the kid, go straight forward into these desks. Try not to get Miso. Miso's the little red cousin right there. Miso's the little red cousin because that wastes time in RTA if you get Miso. But you're going to go here and go for this girl, this relaxing girl, because she is another person that won't get knocked over. Go to the left, get this Precious on the chair, get this cafeteria helper. Those are all the people. So this, where is he? Okay, whatever. You know the kid in the blue shirt that we got at the beginning. He sitting student. No, that's the girl. Whatever. The kid in the blue shirt that we got at the very beginning. Him, this relaxing girl, this Precious, and then this cafeteria helper. Those are the 4 people in the classroom that will not get knocked over. Everyone else you try to roll up will get knocked over and will get sent flying. It's annoying to try and chase them down. But these 4 people, you kind of want to follow that route to get those 4 and make this as simple as possible. And now everyone else is just kind of, you just gotta get it. You just kind of gotta get a little bit lucky. But yeah, that's where this run will end. Of course, only after you get to the size will the people start not, flipping over. You'll just be able to get them right away. But that is the basic route of this level. You'll end in this classroom. You might have to practice this ending a lot because, like I said, it can be quite annoying. It can be kind of RNG luck dependent. But you'll get the hang of it eventually if you just kind of follow that. You just kind of follow that line that I set out for you, getting those specific people that don't get flipped over. But now that I've shown you the routes, I'm going to show you another, just a few more spawn RNG things. I showed you the hats, and I showed you the shoes in the bathroom, but there's a couple more important ones that I kind of want to touch on. So I will be right back showing you the next thing. Okay, so you might have noticed as I was showing you the spawns that these books, this line of books that goes towards the buckets is different almost every time. And the best books to get by far are these open books because they are the biggest, they give you the most size. So you'll see I'm 34.1, I just get these 3 all the way up to 36 centimeters. Like, they give you so much size, they're massive. So of course you can work without them. You saw me when I was doing the spawns, I got other books and I was still big enough to get the buckets, but these ones are by far the best just because of how much size they give you. And I believe, yes, I can show you this. See, in these cubbies, I got a different type of hat. So if I try to get this type of hat, see the shape of the Katamari, the bill just kind of like, you can't even reach anything else. So the bill kind of pushes you out with the red hat that have a bill. Those ones really push you out. But the hats that I showed you the first time, those are by far the best ones to get. Another thing I'm going to show you actually is what happens if I'm 50 centimeters. So let's say I'm 50 centimeters here. Like I said, you can be. Usually that only happens if you get the good hats, but we'll pretend here. If you're 50 centimeters here, you can just go straight out the door, follow this line of paths, maybe get a rabbit if you're lucky, and then you want to make sure you get enough bowling pins that you're big enough for these plungers. Okay, another thing that can be different, and this one doesn't really matter too much, is the item that's at the top of the stack of papers. I got hit by this man on a chair. But the item that's on top of the stack of papers. This guy right here, the clay statue, this is actually the best thing to get in my opinion because it's so big, it gives you so much size. But it can be a trophy, it can be a Daruma doll thing. It doesn't really matter what it is, but this is the best one. Also, I'm going to show you what happens since I'm here. What happens if you don't catch the stack of papers and let it bounce? It bounces, look, like, it bounces through, and now look, sometimes it can even get stuck in these shelves, so you really don't want that to happen. Like, that's the absolute worst. But it can bounce literally any direction. It can bounce forward, it can bounce backwards and land somewhere over here, it can bounce to the right and land on the complete other side of here, like, so you want to make sure that that just doesn't happen, and that you just don't let it bounce. Just don't let it bounce. But yeah, so I've now shown you all the different spawn RNGs that you might encounter. So those are just the important ones, I think. There's some other little items that might be different, like the test tube thing versus the microscopes, but that really doesn't matter that much at all. So now that I've shown you all the important things that you might want to watch out for, I'm going to show you a whole run from start to finish without pausing, just so you can see how it looks like in one smooth process. Alright, looks like I got this spawn. I should have gotten the breads, but that's okay. At least one bread. You can make do without getting one of the breads. It is perfectly alright. Then I drop down here. Get some breads, get some abacus action here. Ooh, I got the good books. Turn around, you'll see the red hats just push me out. I can't get anything else, so I have to go around this way. The turtle is nice, it's on my way. The turtle and the squirrels in this classroom, just like the rabbits, don't chase them down. If they're on your path, get them. They're really nice, they give you a decent chunk of size, but don't chase them down. This kid walking into the bathroom, you can beat him if you're fast enough. Sometimes he'll get in your way if you're on a specific pace, but you can beat him if you're fast enough. Okay, I feel like I got bad. I actually got okay luck with the people in here. Go in here. Get this stack of papers. Trophy I missed, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world. Now we're gonna go in here. I get hit by a kid. But yeah, get the soup thing. Get that. And then yeah, we just kind of end it there. So you saw that line I took, where I got the soup pot, blue shirt kid, forward into here, avoid miso, get the relaxing girl, get the precious against the chalkboard, and then go back to get the cafeteria helper. You should be like only a few centimeters from finish if you do that. But yeah, there's a million desks in this classroom, aren't there? But yeah, that is the whole route. That is school ALAP. So I'm going to go to the select plaza. I'm going to see what time I got. And then I'll kind of talk a little bit through that as well. Looks like I got a time of 1:13. That is a pretty good time. I would be very happy with a 1:13 in a run. Very, very happy. So when you start out, first start out, you'll probably get times in like the 1:30s and the 1:20s, but like with anything, the more you practice, the better you're gonna get. I've sunk so much time into this level for some reason. I don't know why. It's just like all the RNG, all the everything. It's like I've just sunk so much time into this level. So you can see um, my PB is 103, which is actually faster than the record on the leaderboard right now, which is 106. So I don't know if this is like the world record, or if it's I don't like. It's a bit unclear because of course I'm never recording when I get a PB. It just happens that way. But anyway, like I said, if you keep practicing, you will start to get 113s. You'll get 120s. You'll get 110s. You might even get below 110, a 10 something. I was stuck at like 108, 107 for the longest time. But hey, a 103. I got the calligraphy spawn, by the way, when I got that 103. So yeah, like I said, I've sunk so much time into this level. It's kind of addicting, honestly. It's one of my least favorite levels, just because of how much RNG I has, but the level has. But I love the route itself. I love the level. I love what you do. So this is one of my favorite levels in the game to do. Um, but yeah, I hope that this tutorial helped you, whether you're new to Katamari speedrunning or just wanting to get into this new game or this new category. I'll be making more of these for sure, more of these tutorials, because they're helping me out as well. I'm trying to improve my game a little bit too, and just kind of going through everything step by step is helping me out. So help me, and I hope it helps you too. So stay tuned for more of these tutorials, and if you have any questions about this level, the route, the run in general, just leave a comment, and I will make sure to answer it. But for now, I will see you later. Oh, that's beautiful.